Everyone's struggling, but I think a lot of the sacrifices that youth are making aren't necessarily acknowledged and openly talked about it. And I also think a lot of the times when youth do try to talk about it, the conversation's kind of shut down.
I think during the pandemic, you kind of put things aside, like your normal feelings, because you just want to survive it and you just want to get through it normally. But you end up realizing it's not normal. This pandemic is something abnormal.
Whenever I'd cry or just feel hopeless, I'd think to myself, Mila, you can't be feeling like this. There are other people that are in so much worse positions than you. And for you to feel bad about yourself, you don't have that right.
Sometimes you work through the night, you get the project done, and you get everything done that you need to get done, and then you just can't get out of bed anymore.
I think 24 hours ahead of me and 24 hours behind me, and that's the most amount of attention I will pay, because beyond that, I don't have control. There's too much uncertainty about COVID and about the future.
Just everything that's happening, I don't really have, I get angry and I get frustrated, but I don't really know what I can do. And it's just a loss of what you can do, because you're just at home, just seeing everything happening.
There's so much talk and there's so much of a narrative of focusing on those most vulnerable to the pandemic, given to age. And I think that sometimes because of that, the younger generation that is seen as being safe, or that this isn't going to affect you as much, or is you have left to worry about, because of that, I feel that it also adds to this feeling that what it is that they're going through, or what it is that's most important to them is just, it feels like it's being dismissed.
It's very difficult for people to cope, because what we normally consider to be our coping mechanisms, social outlets, going to the gym, going for evening walks, that's gone. That's gone.
In March, when everything went down, a lot of youth kind of felt okay, things are on pause, we'll just we'll re-pick it back up later when things go back to normal. And now it's different. The narrative isn't that youth feel like they're on pause. A lot of them still feel like they're not progressing, but instead of it being on pause and they'll be able to pick back up where they left off, there's just a gap now. We're just going to move over everything we sort of missed out on and continue afterwards.
When you're in high school, university, CEGEP, every period is sort of a transitional period, and every period you're sort of looking ahead to the future and where you can get. I know a lot of my friends, they're missing their graduation, their prom, all these moments that we've waited for so many years, and however trivial it may sound, it's really, really important to us.
Even if they say class of 2020 can come in person at this point in 2022 or 2023, no one's gonna go, or not many people are gonna go, because everyone's kind of moved on by then.
I lost my great uncle over the pandemic. He didn't die from COVID, he died of old age. He was 100 years old, lived a wonderful life, patriarch of the family, and because of the government directives, I couldn't attend the funeral and I couldn't say goodbye. And, I feel lucky that I haven't lost more. Certainly many people have, but those are experiences that you can't get back.
I was working on a big mural project, and I just felt like it was impossible and I couldn't get through it. And I felt like that was a moment of huge crisis moment. And I really needed help. I didn't know what to do. I got through it, but I feel like I haven't really celebrated the end of that project because it traumatized me a lot.
It kind of sucks, right? It's really hard when you're not able to celebrate those little victories or in really important milestones. That's really hard. And so maybe the first step that we do at Television is really to validate that that's a particularly hard thing to cope with.
Not as simple as you'll get over it. When you look back, it's just going to be a small period of time in your life. yes, that is partly true, but right now they're in it right now, and we need to listen to our youth and our young adults who are going through that right now and give them that space to express themselves and make them feel safe doing it.
There are limitations of what we can do or any individual can do in terms of fixing a problem or just making it go away like that. But I think when it is that when our experience is validated, it makes us feel like we exist and that we have a certain level of importance and that we're still a priority and we're not lost up in it.
I think everyone did a lot of reflection about the first year, and I think the second year, I hope it's like, okay, let's act on everything we've thought about. It's time to just not just put our feelings aside. It's time to validate everything that we wanted to do or we're thinking of doing because it's better for our mental health. Like, we have no choice anymore because it's not going to go away for a while.